15 extremely rich people who live cheap. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so you never miss out on any of our videos. Number 15, David Sheraton, Stanford professor. David Sheraton, the Stanford professor who has an estimated net worth of $1.3 billion from Google shares, hates the idea of living like a billionaire. I'm actually quite offended by that sort of thing, he told Edmonton Journal in a 2006 interview. These people who build houses with 13 bathrooms and so on, there's something wrong with them. Sheraton called himself spoiled for taking a windsurfing vacation in Hawaii, and in a recent Forbes profile said that the biggest recent splurge was his 2012 Honda Odyssey. Number 14, Carl Albrecht, co-founder of Aldi. Aldi is to Europe as to what Walmart is to US. Albrecht founded this company with his late brother Hsieh, and together the two made billions building the notoriously no-frills chain. Raised by a shoekeeper mom and a miner father, they remained true to their vision of frugality, and they both drove their stores in their lives. When Hsieh was kidnapped for 17 days in 1971, his brother negotiated a bargain ransom of $4 million, which he then wrote off as a business expense. Number 13, Christy Walden, heir to Walmart fortune. Walden is the widow of John C. Walton, one of the sons of Walmart founder C Walton. Despite their wealth, Walden wanted a normal upbringing for her son, so she raised him in an 1896 Victorian home in National City, California outside of San Diego. After her husband died in a plane crash, Walton donated the home to the International Community Foundation, Center for Cross-Border Philanthropy. Number 12, Ingvar Kamprad, founder of IKEA. The founder of IKEA said he drove 15-year-old Volvo and always flew economy class, according to the 2006 Reuters article. His frugal ways extended him to his home in Switzerland, which is reportedly decorated mostly with inexpensive IKEA furniture, as well as a few family heirlooms. According to the Daily Mail, Kamprad and his wife are often seen eating in cheap restaurants and haggling over prices at the market. Note, some Swedes will tell you that Kamprad is not as frugal as he would have you believe. Number 11, Tony Hsieh, CEO of Zappos. After selling a company to Microsoft for $265 million, Hsieh could have lived in the lap of a luxury. Instead, he has invested $350 million of his own money to transform downtown Las Vegas into a tech hub. And by all accounts, his lifestyle hasn't changed since his early days in business. Money is just a way for Tony to get to his endgame, said Eric Moore, an early Zappos investor. Money just doesn't matter to him. If he only had $1 million left, he'd spend $999,999 to make Vegas work. He'd be just as happy with $1 in the bank and being around people he cares about and care about him. Number 10, Alexander Lebedev, Russian businessman. Unlike many Russian oligarchs who flaunt their wealth buying apartments, yachts, and jets, Lebedev is notoriously frugal. From a Guardian profile, indeed, the most striking difference between him and other oligarchs is the social activism. Lebedev has used his large fortune to improve a lot of ordinary Russians. He talks enthusiastically about such unfashionable themes as Fiat park housing and potatoes. He is staunch in his beliefs. Lebedev was charged with hooliganism after punching a rival on a talk show last year. Number 9, Carlos Slim Helu, chairman and CEO of Telmax. Slim may be the wealthiest person on the planet, but that doesn't mean he's an extravagant spender. The self-made billionaire lives in the same modest 6-bedroom house he has owned for the past 30 years, and still drives himself to work, according to The Week. As far as we can tell, he does not own a yacht or a private plane. Number 8, Amancio Ortega, founder of Zara. 2012 was a good year for Zara founder Ortega, whose net worth rose by $22.2 billion last year. Even so, he hasn't let the success go to his head. Ortega and his wife live in a discreet apartment building in La Coruña, Spain, and he's a simple dresser wearing a uniform of blue blazer, white shirt, and gray pants every day. He goes to the same coffee shop every day and eats lunch with his employees in the Zara cafeteria. And Ortega drives an Audi 8.8, not some fancy supercar. One major indulgence, Ortega owns the Global Express BD700, a private jet designed by Bombardier that carries a price tag of $45 million. Number 7, Jim C. Walton, Walmart heir and chair of Arvis Bank. Walton may belong to one of the wealthiest families in the world, but he has followed in the frugal footsteps of his father, Walmart founder C Walton. The youngest and most private of the Walton siblings, Jim still resides in Bentonville, Arkansas, where he runs a family personal wealth management company from the upstairs office of a plain old brick building in downtown Bentonville. In 2007, it was reported that Walton drove a 15-year-old Dodge Dakota. Number 6, David Green, founder and CEO of Hobby Lobby. While he could easily afford a Gulfstream of his own, Green, founder of arts and crafts retail chain Hobby Lobby, preferred to fly coach. Instead of spending his billions on himself and his family, Green has famously become the largest individual donor to evangelical causes in America. He's given upwards of $500 million in charitable contributions over his lifetime, according to Forbes. Number 5, Tim Cook, CEO of Apple. He may not technically be a billionaire, but Apple CEO Tim Cook is compensated handsomely. Even so, he chooses to live a modest lifestyle. Cook lives in a modest 2,400 square foot condo in Palo Alto, which he bought for $1.9 million in 2010. He's quoted as saying in the book Inside Apple, "I like to be reminded of where I come from, and putting myself in modest surroundings helped me do that. Money is not a motivator for me." He still lives in Omaha, Nebraska, home he bought for $31,500 more than 50 years ago. He doesn't own a yacht because, as he puts it, most toys are just a pain in the neck. When he married his second wife, rather than a lavish affair, it was a brief afternoon wedding at his daughter's house in Omaha. He has also given billions of dollars to charitable causes and begged Washington to increase his taxes. Number 3, Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook. As the mastermind behind Facebook, Zuckerberg is a billionaire many times over. But the 28-year-old leads a surprisingly low-key lifestyle. He recently upgraded to a $7 million home in Palo Alto, but the Los Angeles Times call his home still well below his means. Zuckerberg reportedly drives an Acura because it's safe and not strenuous, and famously wears the same gray t-shirt and hoodie to work every day. His wedding to longtime girlfriend Priscilla Chan took place in the backyard, and the pair was seen digging in at McDonald's over their Italian honeymoon. Number 2, Chuck Feeney, co-founder of Duty Free Shoppers Group. A Depression-era veteran with a strict personal motto, "I set out work hard, not to get rich," the co-founder of Duty Free Shoppers has donated more than $4 billion to disadvantaged children for public health initiatives, all while going to great lengths to remain an anonymous donor. He has no ego. He always chooses the second cheapest wine from the wine list. According to his biographer, former Irish Times journalist Conor O'Clery, when we traveled together he was always dressed like a down-at-heel American tourist. Number 1, Azim Premji, chairman of Wipro Limited. As the owner of technology service giant Wipro, Premji is worth more than $12 billion. Regardless, he is said to monitor the number of toilet paper rolls used in Wipro facilities and demands that employees switch off the lights when leaving their offices. Premji also takes often a 3-wheel auto rickshaw from the Bangalore airport when returning from business trips. He drives a 1996 Ford, according to a 2003 Businessweek profile. Premji makes Uncle Scrooge look like Santa Claus, said one Bangalore tech executive. That's all for today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our amazing videos.